Previously on The Life of Hollywood.
With all these different emotions and figure out where she belongs within it and who she is as an independent person outside of the opinions of others, which is just what I'm trying to do every day, you know? And so then when I acted as the character in the short, I tried to find every piece of me that's similar, every experience I've had that's similar, and just bring it to life in front of the camera.
And do you have any upcoming projects that you're working on right now?
Yeah, well, I think, like I said earlier, I have this feature film that is the feature length version of Dirty Towel, and we're in the process right now of trying to green light production to hopefully film this summer and make that, and then hopefully go back the following year to the festivals. Um, so that's kind of the big one. But outside of that, I have some shorts I did recently, and then yeah, the short game, the feature I'm a supporting role in, is coming to. I want to say it's going to be on Angels. Do oh wait, I hope that's like announced. It's going to be on streaming platforms, and I think you'll be able to see it on Prime and Apple TV as well in the next few months. I hope I didn't just spoil. I don't think I did. I'll double check and get back to you on that.
And speaking of with Prime, your old friend Lola Tung is on Summer I Turn Pretty. Did you watch the last season?
Yes, yes. I watched all the episodes. Yeah, Lola and I went to summer camp together one year, and it's been really, really amazing to see what she's done. I mean, she's so talented and such a kind person. And yeah, the show, I mean, come on, like who doesn't love The Summer I Turned Pretty? It's such like a joy to watch. So I was there, I was sitting on my couch was it Wednesdays, I think, every Wednesday, watching it with my friends. I was eating up the drama. It's great.
It's too bad you didn't watch it with Lola.
No, no, yeah. I think, she has her friends and her life, and she's, I'm sure, super busy. So, but she's awesome. So it's really exciting for her.
And then there's a Summer I Turn Pretty movie. Did you get the opportunity to audition for it, or would you love to audition for it if there's a role for you?
Yeah, I did not audition for any role in it, but I would love to. I mean, I think they may have filmed already, but even if they did, in a magical world, I would love to be in it. Who wouldn't want to, you know?
Yeah, so what is like your future career goals?
I mean, I think a big one right now is just getting this feature version of Dirty Towel made. I mean, the hardest part really is finding the people who want to support it financially, especially as, we're newer feature film makers. So it's about finding those people to take a chance on you and believe in your vision so that you can get it out into the world and then do the next one. So for now, the goal is to just make that movie and get that out there. But long term, I mean, I just hope to one day be acting full time and getting the opportunity to play a wide variety of roles and all the different genres and types of stories. Because I think that's all anyone can hope for as an actor, is just to get to play so many different people and create stories that resonate with people. And yeah, that's kind of the dream.
And do you have any advice for people that are going to be watching later about like breaking into the entertainment industry?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing is, if you want to do it and you believe in yourself and it is your dream, like I'm such a believer of just going after it if it's what you want. And there's lots of people who will tell you it's hard or don't do it, or, it'll take a long time, and all that may be true. But I think that if you love it and you're passionate about it, the only way you're ever not going to achieve it is if you give up, you know? Um, but I think probably the best piece of advice I've ever gotten about trying to pursue a career in acting is just to make your own content. And I mean, I do mean social media, but mainly I mean write scenes, go out and film it for the types of characters you want to play. Find a community of artists and of filmmakers on both sides of the camera, that can help you bring to life your projects and visions, and find just that team, because it'll change the game for you. And write the parts you want, write the short films, and then go out and do it, because if you wait on other people to give you opportunities, it might be a very long time. But if you go out and do it yourself, who knows? Maybe it'll come a lot quicker.
Yeah, thank you so much for the advice, Emma, and thank you so much for having such a great conversation with me. I wish you all the success and journey.
Thank you. Thank you for the amazing questions. It was such a joy, and I wish you all the luck too. And to everyone listening, I wish you luck as well. Go get it.
Welcome to the life of Hollywood, hosted by Marcus Nocerino. Welcome to the life of Hollywood, hosted by Marcus Nocerino. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of The Life of Hollywood, a podcast where we converse with working professionals about their start in the competitive world of Hollywood. I'm your host, Marcus Nocerino. Hollywood is full of all the glitz and glam, but behind the scenes, it's where we're obtaining a job, position, or role is challenging and rough. Today's guest will show us his ways and will introduce us on how he manages to live and inspire the life of Hollywood. My guest today is Benjamin Shrader, who's known for having his production company called Shraders Promotion LLC. For Shrader's Promotions, Benjamin specializes in full-service concert production events for different artists like Wiz Khalifa, G-Eazy, and so much more. Benjamin, thank you so much for being here today and talking to me about your journey.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm excited. We're going to have a great time. And yeah, no, a lot of fun things to discuss.
Yeah, thank you, Benjamin, for being here. So, talk to me about how you got started with your business.
Definitely. So, when I went to college, I basically said, I always had wanted to be popular. I always wanted to be well liked, known. And I was like, boy, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I was in this program called Startup Aggieland at Texas A&M University. Now it's called the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship, but back then it was Startup Aggieland. And basically they help students start businesses. And I deduced, I said, okay, college kids like to party. If I control partying, college kids will like me. And that's how to become popular, to become known, well liked. So started Shrader Promotions and slowly was at first, just doing the promotional side. Finally, one of the nightclubs out there had given me a shot. And in, I believe, 6 months, we doubled their sales by just making it the hot spot to be in town through social media, through good events. And then I really realized where the real money's at in the nightlife is actually in putting on the events. That, there's very little money in the promotional side at the end of the day. Some nice perks, but very little money. So to actually have a good business doing that, I started coordinating events. So putting on shows, working with different companies, fraternities, sororities, corporate clients, and putting on full service for them. I handle everything. I'll book the people, I'll handle the sound, handle ticketing, handle security. Takes it off their head, and I'm able to do it all. And yeah, no, so we've been able to work with some wonderful people over the years and had some incredible opportunities, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and when you developed this, starting off in college and then working with Greek life, I saw in the future that you worked with music artists like Wiz Khalifa, G-Eazy. Tell me how you collaborated with them.
Oh, it was an immense honor. So for Wiz Khalifa, actually, funny enough, it was supposed to be Snoop Dogg, but he was not. Ended up having to cancel that day. It was a spot show during South by Southwest. Spot show basically means the artist's already in town. So you're able to get a much better price for them. Like, let's say, a manager, a DJ, you're able to talk to them and work something out. And so that was wonderful. For G-Eazy, we did his after party after a show here in Austin, and that was great. That was, I believe, forgive me, it's been a little bit, but I believe that was for a company out here. And yeah, no, so some wonderful times, and fraternities, sororities. It can be a little bit stressful working with them sometimes. Mainly the fraternities. The sororities are great, but just because yeah, you give some 19, 21-year-old boys $200,000 and say, hey, put on a show, and as you can imagine, it can get rather exciting. But through them, I'm able to get them much better price for a lot of artists, because a lot of companies will just look at Greek life and be like, oh, there's a lot of money to be made, and we can, I don't know if take advantage is the right word, but it's kind of what it is. So for me, I'm very much like, I'm able to give you a good price and, make your money go farther. So had the pleasure to work with many throughout the state of Texas. My company operates exclusively in Texas, just because the music industry, this is a little inside baseball, the music industry is such a personal based relationship, to the point that one of the big reasons I was able to get my start was the founder, or excuse me, the leader of Startup Aggieland, a woman named Shelley Brinkman, introduced me to Lowry Mays, the founder of Clear Channel Media that became iHeartRadio. And so because of that, I mean, that opened 1,000 doors for me. And it's so personal based that I don't know if I would ever really be able to go beyond Texas, because, like, let's say I send one of my employees to go to an event, the manager, the owner is going to be like, "Where the heck is Ben?" And it's just because the people like you and you do a good job. That's how you make things happen in the music industry.
Yeah, that's like pretty good advice. And how was your experience like working with iHeartRadio, which is like one of the biggest popular like music platforms out there for like today's generation?
Indeed. Well, it's important to remember, my any roles, works that I've done with them is minuscule at the end of the day. But I I enjoyed it. It's really neat. It was very surreal to me. I know I worked with the College Station branch, and it's just crazy. Like, you walk into their office, and I mean, there's this huge, like, iHeartRadio, just like, wall art, and it was just, it's surreal. And the people that you meet, the people that you meet at these type of things, I'm a firm believer in being very nice and deferential. And I think that's critically important, something that a lot of people can overlook. Where, like, let's say I'm talking to the owner of 6 different nightclubs or 6 different venues in Texas. I'm going to be very deferential, polite, cordial, friendly. Just, some people, especially in the nightlife, they get, it's very flashy, it's a lot of fun, but people go into it for the wrong reason. They go into it to party, when it's a business, and I'm there to offer a service to my clients. I'm there to offer a service to, the people that purchase tickets. And so I've never looked at it as something to party. Like, I would never drink when I'm working, never done drugs. Like, you have to be very clean and very professional about it, because it is a business like any other.
I see, I see. And which festival that you worked at was really hard and why?
Hmm, that's actually a really good one. I won't say the name of it, because it's not famous or anything. I won't say the name of it because I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I was brought on a few years ago. I was brought on by a upcoming festival, in an advising role, mainly helping to coordinate things, helping to plan everything. they were very insistent on doing it on a specific day. And I told them, do not do it on this day. There is a competing event going on. And if you do it on this day, it will be a failure. And I literally said that. And, they brought me on for my expertise in the industry and the area. And they didn't listen to me. So I kept telling them. I made the best of it. I did all I could. But as you can imagine, the festival didn't go great because there was a larger festival going on at the same time, and I was like, gang, don't do it, don't, please listen to me, it'd be so easy to move it to the next weekend. It really was not like anything crazy, but I think if you're brought on by a company or an organization in that advisory role, it wasn't really consulting. I wouldn't describe it as that, but for some of your viewers, like let's say you're brought on for something like consulting, you got to realize that sometimes they're not going to listen to you. And if they don't listen to you, you got to try to make the best of a bad situation. But just make sure you don't catch the flack for because it's going to go bad and then it goes bad. So, but it all worked out fine for me in the end, but I wish they had listened to me.
All right, and I want to give a shout out to my Auntie Lisa Estrada Samaba for being the first person that commented on my last post on Instagram. You're getting a shout out. Yep, you're getting a shout out. All right.
Heck yeah.
So,
wish they had listened to me.
All right, and I want to give a shout out to my Auntie Lisa Estrada Samaba for being the first person that commented on my last post on Instagram. You're getting a shout out. Yep, you're getting a shout out. All right.
Heck yeah.
So, I heard, from research that you had a brain tumor, which was
Yes.
unfortunate. And, for a personal question, how did you find out about this, diagnosis, and what was the brain surgery like?
It was difficult. I remember I was doing a show with Loud Luxury. They're a famous DJ group, and the hearing in my right ear was ever so slightly off. In the end, I only had 2% hearing loss in that ear, but it sounded like slightly distorted, and it always felt like pressure, like I was in a plane. And I remember standing there, and I had started wearing earplugs because I was like, oh, what a tragedy that I'm 27 now, so that was 4 years ago, so I was 20, whatever, the 23. 23. And I'm like, what a tragedy at 23 to already have such hearing damage. So I started wearing earplugs religiously, these ones with a silly name, Eargasm, but they're great. They work very well. I'm not even paid to say that. So I used that and started wearing earplugs, started trying to preserve my hearing. I'm thinking that it's the loud music because that's the side I would stand on and the DJ would be here, or the artist would be here. I'm like, I should get this checked out, just so I don't have to worry about it, to assuage my worry so I can relax and not have to stress about it. I go in, I get a CT scan. That's a scan of your bones. And they're like, your bones look a little bit weird, but you might have grown that way. I go back up, like a week later, get an MRI. And I remember I had another big concert coming up, so I was really focused on work. I was kind of ignoring any other calls that weren't related to the upcoming event. I get a call late at night from my parents. And I love my parents, are amazing. I love them both very much. But it was unexpected. And so, I pick up and they say, Benjamin, the hospital called us because we're your emergency contact. And they said that you need to just come in tomorrow. And it's bad. It's bad when the hospital is saying, just come in. Time doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And I was like, what? Okay, I didn't sleep a wink that night. I go the next day. I walk in. They take me back very quickly. And the doctor sits me down. I remember very nice man. Don't remember his name, but he had just said to me, are you ready? And I was like, okay, let's do this. Pulls up the scan. And he says, you have a golf ball sized brain tumor growing off your hearing nerve and underneath your brain, pushing up against your brainstem. If you do not get it removed, you will be dead within 2 years of a massive stroke. You're already at serious risk of a stroke. Um, so yeah, you can imagine. I kept it together. I kept it together. I just laughed at first. That was my first reaction. I was like, yeah, like I laughed because you don't know how to take that. And only on the Uber ride back did I, break down a little bit, just because that um, was rough. And luckily, about a month later, I got it removed, and I was able to go to MD Anderson, the best place in the world for this. They were able to save my facial nerve because your hearing, face, and balance nerve are all tangled together in your ear canal. So it would have looked like I'd had a stroke. I wouldn't be able to control half my face. But I went completely deaf in this ear. I don't even have a hearing nerve. I'm not a cochlear candidate. There's just nothing connecting it to the brain. It rings all the time, but you don't notice it most of the time. It's not that bad. But learning to walk was the difficulty. Learning to re-walk. If you lose a balance nerve, you just can't tell where your head is. It's a very odd sensation, and it took me a couple months to get back on my feet. I used a walker and then a cane for a little while, and then about a year of physical therapy until I was fully back, able to walk normally. I, of course, had to drop out of college due to this and finish up, a year later online. I've ended up finishing up at UTSA. So, but no, that was through a monkey wrench in things. And, luckily the business always keeps a good reserve. So I was able to I have two employees. I was able to tell them, okay, we're going to hunker down for a little bit. Like, I'm going to be out of commission. I had to cancel a bunch of shows that were coming up, but recovered and then came back in glorious triumph and continued leading Shrader Promotions.
Wow, that's really sad, really touching, and wanted to ask, like, how much time did you take off after this diagnosis?
I When I found out, I went dark. I dropped off the face of the earth. The only people I told, my best friend, my employees, and the people that we had events coming up with. They were the only people I told. And I basically, honestly, it was about a year, just because, I have a massive scar on the back of my head, 61 stitches. I got a huge metal plate holding the back of my skull in. Um, it was, massive brain surgery. And then I also had to get a round of something called gamma knife, which is a type of radiation treatment, where it was like a Saw movie. They bolt your head into a vice while you're awake. And they offered me a Valium and I didn't take it. I was like, I'm gonna remember this, and it'll be a great story. It was horrifying. It was the worst part was that in the machine they didn't have a premium Spotify account, so every couple songs it was an ad. We are farmers, that type of thing. But um, that was scary. But the way I look at it is, I took a very stoic view of it. I kept telling myself it could have been worse. It wasn't brain cancer, it was a benign tumor. So I kept telling myself it could have been brain cancer. I could be dying, that there's treatment. I can get through this. I can handle this. I kept telling myself that. And sometimes the whistle blows. You just got to go over the trench. You just have to do what has to be done, not because it's easy, not because you want to, but you just have to. And that was kind of the approach I took that kept me mentally stable. And of course, faith. I'm Catholic myself, and that helps a lot with these type of things.
I see. And is there like any projects that you're working on like currently right now?
Oh, always, always. Oh, there are many irons in the fire. Some of them I'm under NDA. I can't speak freely about. But I have two different events coming up right now in the next couple of weeks, and then we're gonna have a big one that'll be announced soon. That's gonna be in um, August, and so that'll be a great time. I got my start in hip hop and EDM, and then expanded a little bit to country as well, just because it's demand what the people want. But lately, there's been a lot of demand for pop punk, and I was not familiar with this at all. And there's been a pop punk local band here called Jimmy Eat Brisket that has been blowing up and like has become super popular in Austin. So like you book them somewhere, boom, the whole place sells out. So it's very impressive what they've done. So I know that's been something that has been in high demand. So yeah, no, there's always the future's bright, and there's always some wonderful things coming up. Everyone likes to go out and have a good time and go to a nice event and safe, fun event and yeah, enjoy themselves.
And are you allowed to mention the upcoming events that you're going to do that are announced right now? And what are they
Oh
about?
yes. Well, we've got this. I've noticed, there are a lot of these social club type of events. There's this social club that brought us on to do a speaker series and a wine social for them. So that'll be very nice. That's going to be a packed house. And then, funny enough, the other one is a Galentine's Day concert. So yeah, I'm like going to be there for it's all ladies too. So I'm going to be there for like a little bit, and then I'm going to leave and let them enjoy themselves, not be lurking around. So, but no, those will both be good. We have our flagship events, as I call them, usually twice a year to once a quarter, and that's where we bring out an artist with high name recognition. I like to get somebody that has, maybe hasn't had isn't trending on the charts, but still has high name recognition. That's the secret because you get a much better price and the people know who they are. So we'll have one of our flagship events are in August, and then we'll have one later in the year as well. And so that'll be a lot of fun.
And which artists would you love to collaborate with in the future?
You're gonna laugh at this. So I have worked with so many people that know him, and I know so many people that have worked for him or work for him. Like I'm friends with his DJ. I really want to work with Waka Flocka. I never got an opportunity, which is crazy because he's so common that fraternities and sororities work with him. I just never got the chance to. So I would love to work with him, and then a very aspirational one would be Kendrick Lamar. I think that he's an extremely gifted artist, and I would absolutely love to. I mean, that's a dream. And so, but it's. I don't know how much Kendrick Lamar is to book, but it's definitely insane. Drake is he won't even show up for less than 500,000. So if Drake's that, then Kendrick Lamar is probably more. So that's definitely an aspirational goal, but it'd be an immense honor.
Oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar. Yes, he was like big like 2025. Like he had a really good 2025 year, especially with the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. And of course,
Oh,
like
he
he
killed
won a
it.
lot.
He
I
killed
knew
it.
he was gonna win a lot of Grammys for GNX. Have you met Kendrick Lamar before?
I've not had the opportunity to. I think one of the most famous artists that I had the pleasure to meet was Lady Gaga. And I was brought on in a very ancillary capacity for this massive charity event for Hurricane Harvey. And she ended up being the secret artist performing. And I had the opportunity to meet her. And she was incredibly nice. I was nervous at the time. I was just getting my start too. And I was very nervous. And I remember I said to her, hello, Miss Gaga, may I take a selfie with you? And she laughed. And then we, took a picture. So very, very nice woman, very nice woman. But no, I'd love to meet Kendrick Lamar. I found that the more famous someone is, usually the nicer they are. I joke that kindness is the new currency. It won't pay your bills, but it'll help you pay them. But yeah, the more famous people are, let's see, usually the nicer they are. I've had like very few bad experiences with artists. If somebody's successful, I think that there's a reason for that success. And a lot of times behind the scenes, those people are not mean. Uh, like Lady Gaga was super nice. I mean, she was super nice, and she had no need to be. I'm some stupid kid that's bothering her. Like there was no need to be nice to me, but I'll always be pro Lady Gaga because she was so nice to me. So she got a lifelong fan and ally. So yeah, no. So those type of things that most people are nice people. Some people get a little grumpy here and there, but most people are nice.
And do you have any advice to any entertainers that want to get started in the industry?
Something funny. I have two pieces, which is, one is many people wish to be mentors, but few are worthy. So if you have a mentor in the industry, find somebody good and find someone that actually wants to be a mentor and isn't looking just for self aggrandizement, that isn't looking just to have, someone that in the end, when the time comes, they wouldn't let you have the success. That's very important to find a good mentor. And the other thing is to remember that there's enough pie to go around, there's enough cake to go around. I think a lot of people get very much too cutthroat. Now, there's a place for that. There 100% is a place for that, where it's time to go on the attack, it's time to seize territory, it's time to move out and attack. But that is your last resort, and that's the rarest. There is enough cake to go around that it's much better to have friendly relations with even your competitors, where it's like I will offer free tickets to, let's say, companies that are either direct competitors or adjacent industries. I'll be like, oh, here's 2 VIP tickets for my upcoming show. They'll do the same for me. And it keeps good relations. It keeps it friendly because you never know when you're going to be like, oh, hey, I need a CDJ for this DJ. That's the DJ board. I need a DJ board. It's an emergency. You can text them. They're like, oh, I got you, Ben. Or same for me. I need a sound system, Ben. Do you know a guy? Say, okay, yeah, I can pass on his information. So those type of things where you don't want to be cutthroat unless you have to be. If you can avoid making enemies, enemies are expensive and usually unnecessary. And so there's no point in it. And if you can avoid it and if you can be well liked while not being a pushover, I say self-deprecating, but not self-denigrating. If you can be well liked while not being a pushover, that's the secret. And that's how to have allies and friends and to build in at least the nightlife. And I imagine a lot of that would also apply to the acting world and, the film world.
Benjamin, thank you so much for being here and talking to me about your journey in Hollywood.
Oh, it's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful time. I do have to say I love LA. I've been out there a good few times. It's a wonderful thing. Catalina Island, up a little bit. That's a wonderful place. So it was a great time. Pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, I wish you all the luck and success on your journey. Learn more about Benjamin Shrader on his website, www.shradernation.com. And also subscribe to my podcast and follow my podcast on Instagram, TikTok, as well as Benjamin and I's personal social media accounts linked below too. Thank you to my producer Christian, and I will see you next time for another episode of The Life of Hollywood. See you guys later. See you later on The Life of Hollywood. See you later on The Life of Hollywood.